Seen that picture? That's the flaming sword. I'll get you to send me the original, so I can put it on the camera.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant one. Flaming sword, and Adam and Eve kicked out.
And there's two cherubim there.
Yeah, I can see the wings. I can see the sword.
One I looked at, and they had two women cherubim. I thought, oh,
You can't have that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we write.
All right.
Yeah.
As we go through this, if you've got any questions or queries, state them. Don't just hold back and be a good little person in the fellowship where, you know, if you think you don't agree or whatever, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Okay.
So we'll just go straight into that. Here we go. We're looking at the word moral first. What is moral and what is legal? Okay. So the Hebrew understanding for moral is, so it's Teresa's job, isn't it?
To soil, especially in a moral sense, corrupt, defile, greatly pollute, profane.
So as we go through this, we see that when you look up the word moral, it gives a lot of what's immoral
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah.
yeah, because you wouldn't think of pollute as moral
No,
or corrupt.
yeah,
Gives you the opposites.
that's the full meaning of the word in the Hebrew.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
So you can see what is moral
Yeah.
and what isn't moral. What do you deduct from that first one? What are you seeing?
That it's something that's wrong.
The what?
It's wrong.
Yeah,
You can be defiled, polluted.
yeah. Greatly pollute, profane. Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
And from looking at that, you see that moral's the opposite. Clean,
Yes.
Yeah,
truthful.
yeah,
So we're just looking at the Hebrew meaning of the word moral.
yeah,
What a moral is.
yeah.
Yeah? Go on.
Moral filth, that is wickedness, hypocrisy. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
To say hypocrisy in it.
Yes.
Pure innocence. Pure again, in a physical, chemical, ceremonial, or moral sense, clean, fair, pure, pureness.
So there we're getting the full meaning of how to look at something that's moral and something that's not moral. Yeah.
Yeah. Ceremonial purification, moral purity is cleansed, cleansing, purification or purifying.
What do you get from ceremonial purification, Mark?
Oh, the sacrificial system, the tabernacle.
It used to be.
Interesting, the word is Torah.
Yeah.
That's what it did. And if you broke it, you had to be ceremonially purified by animal blood.
Yeah.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Go on.
To be foul, especially in a ceremonial or moral sense, contaminated. Defile self, pollute self. Be unclean, make self unclean, pronounce unclean, utterly.
Evil.
Yeah, where are you?
5765.
Evil, iniquity, perverseness, unjust or unjustly, unrighteousness or unrighteously, wicked or wickedness.
Amazing, that's all under moral, isn't it?
Yeah. Perversity, that is moral evil, fault, iniquity, mischief, punishment of iniquity, sin. Moral perverseness, iniquity again. A revolt, national, moral or religious. Rebellion, sin, transgression, trespass.
So immorality is a revolt
Yeah.
against standard traditions.
Mm.
Not traditions, but standard law from
Yeah.
Torah.
Yeah.
Going against that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To open, that is be roomy, causatively, or make roomy, usually figuratively, in a mental or moral sense, to be causatively make simple, or in a sinister way, delude, allure, deceive, enlarge, entice, flatter, persuade, silly, silly one.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
To be right, or causatively, or to make right, in a moral sense or forensic sense, cleanse, clear self, be just or do justice, justify, justify self, to be turned to righteousness, righteous, the right, natural, moral, or legal, also abstractly equity, or figuratively prosperity, even.
That which is all together.
Yeah, moral, that which is altogether. Just or justice, right, unrighteous or righteous, bad, evil, adversity, affliction, bad, calamity, displease or displeasure, distress, evil, favoredness, man, thing, exceedingly, great, grief or grievous, harm, heavy, hurt or hurtful, ill, ill-favored, mark, mischief, mischievous, misery, naught or naughty, noisome, not please, sad, sadly, sore, sorrow, trouble, vex, wicked, wickedly, wickedness, wicked one, worse or worst, wretchedness, wrong, a wrong, especially moral, iniquity, wicked, wickedness, wrong, especially moral, fault, wickedly, wickedness, a moral mistake, error.
Right. So what do you get out of that just looking at the Hebrew word?
Pretty serious.
And why have you taken that point that it's serious? What does it mean to you that it's serious?
Well, just using the pattern of the priests in the tabernacle, you couldn't have anything to do with Yahushua if you were any of these things.
Yeah.
You had to be morally, and it wasn't just a preference. It was a a purity, set apartness, radiation issue. You come too close with this in you and you would just frackle up. So that's why it was a big deal for the high priest to have to go the closest anyone would ever go. But even the priests walking around and walking in would have to be clean. And the nation, that's why they was camped a little bit further back. But if they were any of these things too, they'd be outside the camp. Which of course is a shadow. Where any of these things you're blocked.
Yep.
Can't have your issue. Can't
So-
feel them, can't love them.
Sorry.
Hmm.
So did you see what moral is in that? What is moral?
Really anything that's obedience to his Torah, his instruction, is moral.
Can I hear you?
Anything that's obedience to Torah is moral. Anything that's disobedient makes you dirty and immoral.
Moral is cleansed. So therefore, you're doing what is right behaviour. Basically.
Yeah, it's all behaviour.
There was only one sentence, what moral, where it said was moral. The rest of it was about it being immoral. So the only one sentence in ceremonial or moral sense, ceremonial purification, so something pure, purity, cleansed, and all the rest was the
What not to
state, what not to be, and the state that you get yourself in when you're not moral. And it was all the words and things that you know that demons put in you to be perverse, being rebellious, deluded, wickedness and all that. It's just,
Why do you think it's mentioned like that about moral? There's only one sentence. There's other few little things in there like purity and righteousness and stuff.
yeah.
Why do you think it's mentioned like that?
It's hidden. A bit like a parable. Those who want to dig it out will find it. Those who are interested enough. Those who are impatient won't find it. If I didn't find it, too impatient. So, back when we were looking up words, whenever it was, we didn't find much at all. Too in a hurry. And you spend the time and you think about it and maybe go the opposite and look at other words and as you have, find the gems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like some scripture with these parables.
What did you say before? I said why?
Why was it written like
Why
that?
is it written like that?
Yeah.
Because it's the outcome. It's what happens when you're not moral. It's the attitude and the behaviour of everything that you get caught into. You have misery. You're in grief and you're heavy and you're harmful and you're deceived. And
What was it? Why was it written like that? You had two distinguishing things, didn't you? One's moral and one's something a little bit immoral, the rest's immoral.
yeah,
So why do you think it's
written like
written
that.
like that?
Because moral is just very straightforward. That's what it is, to be cleansed, purified. There's no more to say about it. But the outcome when you're not moral is a whole gamut of stuff.
We're having a monsoon, brothers and sisters, at the moment. Just closing the door. So I'll wait for Mikey to come back.
Why is it written like that?
It's two different things.
Yeah.
And showing us mostly what
Because the world is full, there's much more immorality in the world than moral morality. When Yahushua's speaking to us, he's speaking at, he's moral, he's pure, he's cleansed, but he's looking at mankind because of the sin in mankind, and he's telling us what is the outcome of mankind. That's what's in mankind, all the immorality, all those words.
So if we go back to the corrupt seed, what does that bring into your mind? Why it's written like this?
Because everyone's full of the corrupt seed, and they're full of this immorality, they're full of this wickedness, wretchedness.
Do you look at people in that light every day?
Not all the time, no. Because there's a lot of things in there where they deceive, and there was seduce, and what was that one? Mischief.
Yeah.
Flatter, they persuade, they flatter, they entice.
Allure.
Allure, yeah.
What do you think of it like when you look at the world like that?
I'm just trying to pull you in.
Well, you can see that that's exactly what the world is.
Yeah.
They're trying to drag anybody who's trying to
Be moral.
do the right thing
Yeah.
and have that moral compass into the deception and allure them to destruction.
So if you look at your household,
It's full of it.
what do you see here?
All of this stuff that is not moral. Everything. You see the wickedness, you see the deception and all of that. And you see how
Playing with your emotions.
you see
You
how
two are subject to that all the time, are you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Furious.
it's disgusting.
Why are you furious?
Um,
You're just learning this, you're just seeing this now, it's new, fresh.
I have too much sentimentality
Yeah.
for children that I still see as being quite young, but are old enough to manipulate. If I was a father from the 20s, I probably wouldn't put up with any of it. You know what that was like. But I don't think I'm as extreme as the ones today, but I still have a certain level of sentimentality when dealing with them. Maybe because of what they've been through, maybe I take some responsibility for it, maybe I shouldn't, but I just do. So, doesn't mean you can't tell the truth.
Best to make up your mind about all the things like you both did today.
Yeah.
How do you feel about getting that in order?
Be a lot better,
Yeah, it's good.
a lot better.
Just gives you more certainty
Yeah.
as to where we are going.
Yeah.
They don't want to be on the same path that we are on.
At the moment, yeah.
So therefore, we need to stick together. We need to make up our mind and
Teach this to them so they know it.
Mm.
Don't hold back, let them know.
Yeah.
But remember, you're just coming into this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you see how much you've been allured and tempted and tricked,
Ripped off,
ripped off, what do you think?
no more.
Well, let's go in for more instruction about morality in the scripture. You can do half, Victoria, and Mark can do half.
Yeah. Scriptures on morality. In 1 Corinthians, do not be led astray, evil company corrupts good habits.
how true is that?
Become like you hang around.
We see that. We
Yeah.
see that in the kids.
Yeah.
Mike is a great example. always willing to help and then dragged into what
Others.
Joe's feeling, for example,
Mm.
and what happened to him.
So you saying Joe's an evil company?
I am. I see the same thing with Pina and Robert as
Maybe
well.
the behaviour.
Yeah, it's
The
more.
behaviour,
Yeah.
not the person.
Yeah, it's
He's
the
been
behaviour.
immersed and he's,
Yeah.
you know, but
It's
he
the
has to go
behaviours.
through the battle of the flesh, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, well,
I was like that every time I went to saw my family. I'd come back and I'd have dreadful habits. I'd let the evil company corrupt me. I let that happen.
Yeah, I think I occasionally do that with my mum. Put my foot down today. She started to talk to me while I was talking to a client. I said, "Not now, Mum." With the client, so
yeah.
I'll talk to you after.
Mm.
I thought, no, you're not bringing that in.
Good. Good on you, that's a good
Cut.
step.
Cut her off at the pass.
You didn't finish about what you were saying.
And I'd come home and I'd put my evil behaviour on you, and you'd go, "Oh, she's been affected," and you'd have to go through me abusing you and lifting myself up, thinking I'm someone, and the habits, the corrupt habits I'd let in.
It's
And
good that you can
horrible.
see.
Yeah,
It was horrible.
yeah.
Yeah, next one.
Mark 7, and he said, "What comes out of a man, words and behaviour, that is what defiles a man. This is what defiles a man." Whoa.
So what is that saying?
What you let in will come out.
Comes out of a
Yeah.
man. So if it's not nice, it'll defile you. You'll feel disgusting, horrible feeling, you know, your hoosh is not happy.
Makes you immoral.
So I put words and behaviour there because it says what comes out of a man, and some people say it may not be the mouth, might be the other end, about food and what they eat and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, that's still crappy, isn't it?
You know? Yeah.
It's still the mouth because it says later on all the things that they are.
Well, it says it there, this is what defiles a man.
Mm.
So, what you let means that we hear our thoughts here, comes into our heart. What you let come out of yourself, that can defile you.
Mm.
That's why we've got the Spirit, the new birth we have with the incorruptible seed. We don't have to let, because we've got our armour on, our helmet on, we can block the thoughts from Satan. Many people in the body aren't doing that.
No.
They're just letting thoughts come in and control them, like Joe,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
So what they let come in, that's going to defile them.
Mm.
So it's not always masturbation or sex,
No.
you know, or looking at porn or something like that. It's what they say to each other
Mm.
that can defile them and make them, as you saw it said, misery was sin was one of the things
Mm.
in the explanation. So
Yeah.
if you're letting stuff come out of your mouth that's defiling you, you're going to have misery, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
why a lot of misery is in the home because of what they let come out. It's a good principle to teach
Mm.
your
Yeah.
family, that
Yeah.
one.
That one is, yeah.
You know, you're wondering why you're miserable and hurt and upset
Mm.
because of what you've done. So you're putting it back on them, teaching them it's their fault to look after themselves.
Yeah.
Don't let thoughts in because you'll feel miserable.
Yeah.
And it's a reality. It's actually a fact.
Yes.
Mm.
You know, it's a real fact. Because you can go into the other room or something and think, well, no one can see me and Yahusha can't hear me. but he can, and he can see and hear you
Mm.
because he's everywhere all at once if he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And those thoughts that come in deceive us and seduce us
Yeah.
into thinking it's okay. Then we come out and we start saying and acting, and we're defiling ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the body is taking this seriously?
No.
Yet it's there.
I never heard anybody apart from you teach, and now me, teach that you have to check your thoughts.
Yeah.
Never. In all our time.
Well, you can see what's going on while people are just clones and being used.
Mm.
Okay, next scripture, or
1
is it Mark?
Peter,
Yeah.
because it has been written, be set apart, for I am set apart.
Mm.
So we have to break away
Mm.
from all ties that want us to be rebellious to the truth.
Yeah,
Mm. Contaminated.
Yeah.
Mm.
that's true. Contaminated by association. Mm.
But if you make up your mind to set yourself apart from others, you've got to make sure
Mm.
that you've made up your mind because you face what that is, that relationship is.
Yeah.
You have to make up your mind and take the responsibility for doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're wishy-washy, well, you'll be
Doesn't work.
stuck in there, you'll stay the same, you'll never grow,
Mm.
Mm.
you'll just stay weak,
Yeah.
you know, and you'll just be tormented
Yeah.
Mm.
and in misery.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Right.
one.
Mark
You
it.
guys want to say anything?
No, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I'll go one more. Galatians 5. And I say, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not accomplish the lust of the flesh.
Is there a you in there? Accomplish.
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 Okay, what does that mean?
If you listen to the Spirit and you're in His Spirit realm, feeling Yahusha, you won't go and want things of the world, of the flesh.
How do they describe the flesh?
Lust.
Sensation.
Desires,
Mm.
wants. So what does walk in the Spirit mean to you guys? If there's someone watching that doesn't know to walk in the Spirit, they don't know what that means. How would you explain that? Yeah, let's walk in the Spirit. Like you're thinking everyone knows, yeah.
Well, that's constantly listening to what Yahusha's saying to you. An example today, I had a client who was talking about having photos with Santa, and I actually turned around and said to her, do you realise that that's an acronym for Satan? And she's like, what? I said, did you know that the Christmas tree represents this? And what? I said, I'll give you some material on it all. And I did.
Mm.
He gave me all the brochures that Mark had printed out.
Yeah.
And she was like, didn't know any of that. Wow.
Mm. Wonderful.
Good on you.
Okay.
Walking in the Spirit is to check every thought with Yahusha's word. So you're walking in the Spirit. You're not wanting.
What does the walking mean?
On the word. To every thought, situation that comes in.
Wherever you
Stand
go.
on the word.
Walking to me means following him
Well,
as
try
to
and,
what he wants.
try and go to Mark's way. You're explaining it to a non-believer.
What did you say?
Walking in the Spirit.
Walking
You
on the
rest.
word.
You
Yeah.
arrest your thoughts
Yeah.
and you check it with
The word.
the word,
Yeah.
and you take a step towards that thought.
Mm.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yep.
So that's walking on the word through your thoughts. Yahusha gives you more thoughts than there are grains of sand on the beach in a day.
Yeah.
So we're walking, listening, checking the thoughts and being obedient to his word in every situation we're involved in. So that's walking in the Spirit.
Spirit.
Yep.
You won't follow the desires, the lusts, what the flesh wants to do. The flesh wants to go here or there or say or do this. But if you're checking everything with the word, why aren't people doing it? Why won't they do it? Why do they listen to the negative thoughts they get and act on that rather than,
Checking.
be grateful and thankful to walk on the word? Why are they going the opposite, going Satan's way?
They're listening to
This is
religion.
believers.
Yeah.
Well, they're not being taught this,
No.
Don't know.
are
No.
This is.
they? No, the preachers won't tell it.
No.
No, because they want to control them.
That's right.
That's right.
You're on next, Marky, aren't you?
2 Corinthians 6. Therefore, come out from among them and separate, says Yahuwah. Do not touch what is unclean, and I shall receive you.
Well, the first question there is, do you want to be received by Yahusha?
Of course.
So what have you got to do?
Do not touch what is unclean.
Do you have any idea of what's unclean in your life?
Hell yeah.
Lots of stuff.
He showed me.
What you look at, what you think,
Do, say, think, do, look at.
say.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty much anything that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Whatever you speak, whatever you
Act.
think,
Behaviours act.
whatever you behave, act, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And he gives you a warning, doesn't he?
Yes.
But after a certain time, there's nothing except the dead feeling, which would be his anger.
Yeah.
So if believers come in, get immersed, and they're not taught these things, they're not taught about the new spirit, the new heart, that they have to change, have to put off. They actually have to put off the old behaviours. They have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
You can't expect someone else to do or think or behave for you. You got to do it yourself.
That's it.
If you look at this and you both said lots of stuff, what should you do about it?
Put it off.
And don't touch,
What
It's
is
unclean.
unclean?
and I shall receive you. That's the demand. They're not teaching the believers this. They don't care enough in their heart for the believers. When Yahusha's in you, your heart is caring towards people. If it's not, you're stuck in mad emotions and feelings. Satan's having his way with you. You haven't got a chance unless you're going to fight.
Yep.
Okay, buddy?
Isaiah 52:11. Turn aside. Turn aside. Come out from there and touch not the unclean. Come out of her midst, be clean. You who bear the vessels of Yahusha.
Yeah. And go into that word.
Who bear the vessels of Yahusha.
What's that mean?
The temple.
What are we carrying?
His
We
presence.
have him inside us,
Who bear the vessels
vessels,
of?
Yahusha.
Earthly
We-
What do we
vessels.
carry?
We have the ark inside us, the portal.
Ark of his presence.
Oh, you don't think we're carrying things?
We're carrying lots of bad
You
things.
who bear
Who
the vessels,
bear the vessels
responsibility.
of Yahusha.
What's the vessel mean?
Something that can be filled up,
A carcass.
that carries.
Carcass.
Body.
The body,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. come out, turn aside, come out from there, and touch not the unclean. So there's people touching unclean things and won't come out.
Mm.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts, ideas, desires,
Yeah.
wants, achievements.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's all modern day idolatry.
that's right. Saying, come out of it, come out from there.
Mm. Absolutely.
Next one.
Ephesians 5. For this you know, that no one who whores, nor unclean one, nor one greedy of gain, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the reign of Yahushua Messiah.
Okay. What do you feel about that?
Has any inheritance.
So that's handling legal, right? Isn't it?
Moral.
Moral. Sorry, yeah, not word. Moral.
Mm.
That's the understanding of what's moral and what's not.
Yep.
What have you picked up from that? Be real, honest, open.
No.
Go all the way.
No.
See, that you're just the same, opposite.
I've picked up that I need to do more. I need to walk in the Spirit more. That's just
What,
me.
listening to, are you suffering because of your behaviour?
Yeah, of course.
What things are you doing that you're suffering for?
I'd probably say there's been a few judgments,
What are the judgments?
mostly of the kids, because they won't listen. You're lazy, rat bags, you know, all that
Well,
sort
they
of
get
stuff.
no money. They're grounded. They don't do it. Just make your rules up.
Mm.
So you're not suffering all that.
Yeah,
Let them suffer.
Yeah.
Their behaviour. Teach them.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's been my thing, is having the judgments.
So you judge quickly.
Yeah. Good one's my daughter with her bedroom being filthy.
Well, whose fault's that? If you allow what you sow,
You read.
now she's reaping.
Mm.
She might even go the opposite and go.
Maybe.
Then you'll be free. You're going to hate me?
Then I might be having a party.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it to you being moral?
Moral is to, when you're confronted with something that seems so alluring from the world, you say, no. And when you do, over and over and over again, you start to come to a place where I can see it. You are received. And he gives you things. Then if you want to double cross him and maybe say yes,
Like you've done?
time and time again.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm just
Making me aware
asking.
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Time and
You
time
made
again.
me aware of it.
Time and time again. Maybe you want to say yes to the world. And you suddenly realise that the receiving that you've taken for granted is gone. And you feel like death. And you can repent, but it's, I guess technically you get back straight away, but you don't feel like you're back until you.
No, you've got to prove yourself.
You've got to prove yourself again.
Not to be ripped off.
Yeah.
Not to be deceived.
So that's where I'm going
He's
for.
waiting for you.
To be received more and more.
Lovely.
I like being received.
Yeah,
Everything
we know
flows
that.
and everything works.
We know that.
And when you say or do or look or think,
You're terrible.
yeah.
You got to have a bit of a sense of humour in it, yeah.
A lot of this is talking about being unclean, the morality, coming out of that, coming out of what the world's enticement is, coming out of the thoughts, it's mainly thoughts with me where accept a thought to say or do something to lift myself up, to prove something to someone that I'm
Don't you
certain
miss
way.
me
Yeah,
when you go there?
yes,
Don't
I
you
do.
miss me?
I do.
What do you get from me when you go there?
Oh, torture.
It's not me.
I know.
It's Yahusha.
I know. But
I don't want to go there.
I just get, you're
Don't
not
you miss
there.
me?
Don't you miss me? Yeah, and that's coming out and not having that wanting, not looking. Where I said to you a lot of times I get bored with the piece and I'm wanting drama, and that's disgusting, you know, just to enjoy the piece, and I'm starting to get into that. But a lot of the times I wanted to stir up and have
Did you know that about her?
have some action.
I've met her before. Yeah.
You met me
Yeah,
before?
I've met
He
you
wants
before.
to be received, Victoria. He's not interested now. Wants to be received.
Please receive me.
Yes.
I love you, Mark. I love you. So that's where I'm going.
So did any of you feel guilty about going through what's moral and what's not?
That's where I live.
Yes.
Guilt's where I live, mate.
Eh?
Guilt's where I live.
Well, that's stupid.
When I've run out of my own guilt, I'll take anyone else's.
Aren't
on.
you stupid?
Stupid, mate.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, imagine.
So you're going to answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it touched my heart. It really, I could see the effect of why, if I'm not feeling excited and happy, what I've done.
So as far as Yahusha is concerned, if you're being immoral,
You don't get
how
nothing.
do you think he feels?
Hates it.
It's
It's
idolatry.
against him.
You'll feel it.
Mm.
The hatred, the judgment and the wrath.
Would you say it's legal behaviour
No.
No.
or illegal behaviour?
Illegal.
Illegal.
So what is illegal behaviour?
Anything that is against Torah.
That's the right answer.
Mm.
So we're going to carry on in a minute with the next exciting version of what's legal, what really is legal and what isn't.
Mm.
To go into that test,
Yeah.
can you get there?
Yeah. If it was every man for himself, I'd be very happy. But when you're the head of the home and you take responsibility for it, you know?
Well, you can see it doesn't take too long, a few conversations to get it in order.
No, and then they,
But you have to,
but then once they know what you want, they know what not to do.
what does that mean?
Well, they know exactly what you want and they understand, so now they know how to get you.
Well, when you're doing this, you're not wanting anything, you're handing the responsibility over to them.
But
You know, it's
so
up to
you
you.
guys want things, and I want it to want it done properly. Otherwise, you might as well do it yourself.
What is
Quicker
that?
and easier for us. to
What
do
are
it
you talking
ourselves.
about so I can click in?
Chores.
Yeah, when you
What
set-
chores? What
you
chores?
You set it all out for them so they understand.
Yeah,
So then they know what not to do. To
and
piss
they're
us off.
gonna fail, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, every time.
So
Mm.
aren't you glad they fail?
Yeah.
Instead of being angry and upset.
Yeah, that's
Aren't you
fine with
glad?
me.
Well, what are you going to do about it then? You say.
I'm not the mother though who would take it on and be frustrated the next morning
All
because
right.
there's no socks and there's no this and there's no that.
Well, she said you have to go with no shoes or wear
Exactly.
red socks.
Wear thongs.
Yeah, whatever. You just give the alternative. You should have done your job.
Yeah.
So you can't be fussed and worrying about them. They have to take that responsibility onto themselves,
Mm.
and you are not doing it anymore.
Mm.
They think you hang around doing nothing. Well, show them.
Mm.
Let them know.
Yeah.
You know what you do for them anyway.
Mm.
The cooking. Now it's up to them to take on responsibility at their age to grow up and know how to work the washing machine and know how to, you know, pack the dishwasher and all that sort of
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
And if they pack the dishwasher and it doesn't wash properly, you call them out and say, look, this will have to be done again. You didn't pack it properly. Can you repack it the right way, how you've been shown? Instead of running over to check on them, see if they've packed it the right way, blah, 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 because you're trying to save money. Let them make a mistake. So they have mistakes, lessons to learn from. If you take everything from them, they don't learn, they couldn't care less, they've got no respect about what they do or say.
They know it's our standard, so we'll end up doing it ourselves.
Well, you won't be now, will you? But you'll pull her off. You'll grab her arm and say, darling, can you come and help me here for a minute, please?
I will.
Just pull her away
I'm
from
going to have a lot of problems coming up.
Oh, I need you in the bedroom for a minute.
I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me with
You'll
this.
enjoy that.
Yeah. And what about the problems coming up? Fantastic. Whose problems are they?
Yes.
There's.
See? Because you've given it to them.
Yeah.
Push it forward.
I have to scrap the rest. It's fine.
Yeah, give yourselves a break. What is it? It's not a big one, the legal one, is it? Oh.
It's a bit on the bottom of that.
Where's the other bit?
It's on the front. It's on the front of that.
Front of that one.
Front of this one.
Oh, right.
We've only got one page left.
So
It's
that's
only one
that.
page. I'll take this on the end of the other video.
Eh?
It's only one page. I'll take it on the end of the other video. Just have an intermission.
Are you on now?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to make this a whole nother video.
Okay, brothers and sisters, you're not going to make it what?
I'm not going to make it a whole nother video.
No.
No,
We'll just
we'll
add it
do
on.
We're
Yeah.
back. And we're looking at what is legal and what is not legal, which is called illegal. So we want to understand what Yahushua's saying to us. These sort of things are not being taught to the body, therefore they don't have to do them. And they're all in their little lovely groups doing what they feel. But there has to be a unity, like as you just heard us talking about a unity in the home. There has to be a unity in the body.
Yeah.
And everybody should know what's legal and what's not and how to operate and function within Yahushua's word.
Yeah.
So we're going on to what is legal. Okay, Victoria, you're off. I mean, Therese.
In a legal sense, an interdict means law.
That's what that means.
Okay.
Law.
Decree.
I'll put that in. Yeah.
The right.
It's a decree or it's a law.
Yep.
Making statements, making decrees of behaviour, what to do, what not.
The right, natural, moral, or legal. Also abstractly, equity, or figuratively, prosperity. Even legal, that which is altogether just, justice, right, unrighteous, or righteous, cause or causely, or causeness, a contest, personal or legal, adversary,
A contest.
adversary, cause, chiding, contend or contention, controversy, multitude from the margin, pleading, strife, strive, striving or suit.
Right, so there you are. What do you get out of that?
Very similar words to what is moral and immoral.
Yeah? And this is legal. What's legal and what's not.
It's a bit more about what's right and wrong, like it's more in the justice and equity and legal, meaning a law.
Mm.
The right, natural, moral or legal. So it's a law of nature, it's a moral and it's a legal law.
It's a law of nature,
Natural.
natural. Okay, so law of nature, legal. What does that make you think about? What's legal to you? We look at nature, what's legal? Moral, natural, moral, or legal. What's moral is legal. Is that what it says? What's moral is
Way,
Or
legal.
legal.
Or legal.
the way he's created it to be.
Yes?
The way he's created it to be. The
Yeah.
natural laws of balance, good and bad, is
Mm-hmm.
how he created everything. Bad has to be pushed aside, otherwise it'll just be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not destroyed yet, he's kept it in a separate place, or kept himself in a separate place. Anything that anyone breaks his laws can't be anywhere near him.
So would you say what's moral is legal?
Yeah,
Legal what?
law, behaviour.
So does that go for the world?
They don't believe in. Well, it still exists whether
I
you
think
believe
it
it or not.
does, because
Yeah.
there's, what you sow you reap, that happens in the law, it's a universal law.
They call it karma,
But
don't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
there's those universal laws that are existing in our universe, in the world.
Yeah,
There are certain there are certain laws in the world where if you do good and if you are moral in your family and things, that things would work better. So those sort of things work. Yeah. And in nature, you can see how nature is in such a pattern and follows his law. He's designed everything to be in a certain place.
Mm.
Man comes along and changes stuff and destroys that law, disrupts it all.
So if you do it legally, it says it gives you equity.
Mm.
What's equity in the bank?
Prosperity.
Money, wealth,
It's money.
blessing.
Does
Treasures
it
in heaven.
necessarily, when we look at moral, mean money?
Peace.
No, it means that you'll actually
Success.
prosper in what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be within him, you'll actually have that equity.
Mm.
You have
Equity.
morality
Mm.
and it's legal.
Mm.
So what would it be not to do it?
Illegal.
Have no morals.
Well,
Does that go through everyone? Because he says
Yeah.
man has no excuse because he knows the difference between
Yeah.
right and wrong.
There's a
Yeah.
conscience.
Yeah.
You talk to someone in the world and if you bring up a moral subject with them, straight away they get upset.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting?
Very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, darling, how many scriptures are there?
There are 5. I'll do 3 of these short ones. In Romans 7, so that the Torah, legal law of Yahuwah, is truly set
I put that in there.
apart.
It's not in the scripture.
So John.
So the Torah, legal law of Yahuwah, is truly set apart, and the command set apart, and righteous and good.
So what is it? The legal law of Yahuwah, the Torah?
it's set apart.
It's righteous,
and
It's
good.
righteous and good.
set apart, righteous and good. So it's okay, it's cool, it's right.
Yeah,
Mm.
Torah is right.
yes,
Mm.
That's a legal statement. Yeah?
that's great. Therefore, has that which is good become death to me? Let it not be, but the sin, that sin might be manifest, was working death in me through what is good, so that sin through the commandment, the law, might become an exceedingly great sinner.
What does that mean?
Now that I know what the Torah is, now that I know what right and wrong is, when I do something that's wrong, when it rises up in me, I can put it to death. I know what it is because I've got a legal law telling me what right and wrong
Who's
is.
saying therefore?
Paul.
So what's he saying? Therefore,
Therefore, that which is good.
has that which is good become death to me?
Yeah, he's asking a question.
Therefore, has that which is good become death to me?
Let it not be.
Because of the Torah, yeah.
Mm.
But the sin, as you were saying, that sin might be,
Manifest coming out of
so
us.
the Torah manifests
The
It's
sin.
a sin.
sin. The Torah manifests sin, yeah.
So it's not the Torah that's bad, it's the sin.
Was working death in me. The good things
Mm.
that he thought were good. Through what is good. Was working death in me through what is good. So that the sin through what
The
The
commandment,
commandment,
the law,
might become
an exceedingly great sinner.
so we can see the Torah shows us what sin
What we
really
really are.
is.
Yeah.
So if we're walking in the Spirit, we'll know, won't
Mm.
we?
Mm.
Huh?
Yeah.
You want to say anything about that, guys?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like the Torah opens your eyes to the sin.
Yeah.
And you can see it. And then when you're living it, you can see more.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay?
In 1 Timothy. And we know that the Torah, the law, is good if one uses it legitimately.
Mm.
So you've got to use the Torah legally
Mm.
as far as whose mind is concerned.
Yeshua's.
Yeshua's.
Mm.
It's got to be in his mind
Mm.
if you're going to use it. It's got to be the right way.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
Romans 10. For Messiah is the goal of the Torah, the law, to righteousness to everyone who believes.
Yeah, what does that mean? For the Messiah is the goal. The goal post you go up to kick the goal. Who's the goal?
Yeshua,
For Messiah is the goal of the law, Torah, to righteousness to everyone who believes. We're all going for the same thing,
Mm.
so we should all be acting pretty much the same about every issue, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
If we're walking in the Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah? Next one.
That's yours, Marky.
Romans 4. For the Torah law works out wrath. For where there is no Torah, there is no transgression.
So how would you apply that to your home?
If they haven't been told what to do, they can't be wrong for not doing it.
That's right.
Falls onto the.
And what does that do to you seeing that word for you?
Wow.
And Therese?
Good. Say what you want.
Well,
Then there's a standard.
tell them what it is that we want.
Yep.
So that way they know, and if they don't do it, they will know the consequence. of what they haven't done.
They won't have privileges and things.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Deuteronomy 19. One witness does not rise up against a man concerning any crookedness or any sin that he commits.
Now put this into your home life.
At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, a matter is established. Okay, so it's not just by one man saying whatever he wants. You're going to have 2 or 3 witnesses.
So you can't just listen to someone.
When a malicious witness rises up against any man to accuse him of turning aside the Torah, then both men who have the dispute stand before Yahuwah, for the priest and the judge who serve in those days. And the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness who has accused his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst, and let the rest hear and fear. Hear and fear. Never again do this evil matter in your midst. And let your eye not pardon, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Do not pardon it. Do not excuse it. If there's wrong, deal with it. If there's an accusation, there have to be 2 or 3 witnesses.
And on the other page, last sentence. And the judges.
And the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness
Yeah,
who has accused his brother.
check the behaviour.
So
Thus you shall
Purge.
purge the evil from your
in your
midst.
midst.
Mm.
So if someone's telling on someone else without witnesses, is that a lie?
Pretty much. Yeah, it is.
There's always 2 sides, isn't there?
So what's the instruction for us as believers in our family lives and in our lives?
Have witnesses. To do it properly.
And the judges shall
Diligently search
and
and see if the witness is a false witness who has accused his brother.
so that's what you have to do in the fellowship and in the home. Got to check, go right through it. You've got to check it out. So
Yeah.
not just let it go.
Yeah.
Because there'll be chaos.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no real law or anything there.
Yeah, everyone gets away with it.
Yeah. So when it all comes down to the end, look at the last scripture, Marky.
Genesis 3. And Yahuwah Elohim sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. And he drove the man out. And he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. So if you don't purge the evil from your midst, you will be purged from his midst.
Well, Adam and Eve did evil
Yeah,
in his midst.
yeah,
So they were booted out.
yeah.
Like Josiah's getting
Mm.
moved on. Yahusha's got another plan for him. He's moving him on in the experience that he wants himself. So he's declared that to all of us, fine. So he wants to move on and have his own experience with Yahusha. Didn't we all want that?
Yeah.
So we can see that's what he's wanting to do.
Yeah.
So if it's wrong, you'll be. If your behaviour's wrong, what will Yahusha do? What did he do to Adam and Eve?
Sent them
Drove them out.
out of his presence.
Sure.
So Joe's getting driven out
Divides and separates.
for a purpose, a reason. Yahusha knew what he was going to do with Adam and Eve, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they had a whole different, they had to dig the soil and everything, whereas before,
Yeah.
life was cushy and pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Didn't appreciate it, didn't take heed of his words.
Mm.
So they destroyed themselves.
Mm.
And the whole human race, because of what they did, has to suffer the seed. But obviously it's in his plan, the corrupt seed, and he had a plan. But that plan's only come through for those in the end that can have the full experience.
Yeah.
If we're willing to go there,
Mm.
we
Wow.
can have the full experience
Yeah.
like they did in the Acts.
Mm.
They all got killed for it. We won't be getting killed unless he chooses us as a martyr. That's good.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, from that, what do you see?
I can see that Yahusha is doing everything, and he's bringing us each week to the place that he wants, things that he wants us to know. It's
And
up
he's
to us to
dealing,
apply
isn't
them. And he's
He's
doing it.
dealing with everything,
Yeah.
even down to the bloody washing.
Oh, please don't bring up again.
He's right in the minutest details. You can ask
He
Victoria.
does detail, he does, and that's where he gets us.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to worry because he's going to get them.
Yeah, he is.
He's chosen them. He's going to finish the work.
Yes.
So you can
Yeah.
trust him
Yeah.
for that, for
Yeah.
them.
Mm. That's true. They have all been immersed.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Mark.
So you guys have to trust. Yeah. We have to trust. We've got to trust in the face of all odds. Some days. Trust. Yeah.
So did you find anything here that we talked about when we went through what's legal? What sort of behaviour is illegal?
Anything against Torah.
It's immoral. It's immoral. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you can see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It causes strife,
Yeah.
contention, drama.
You were sitting back there going, wow, about Adam and Eve. What happened?
Just that he sent them out. They had such a wonderful time with him, and then they were cut off. They had to work.
Exactly right. Like that.
That's what I'm seeing with
Mm.
this situation with John.
But you guys had to make up your own mind and make your decision to do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't work. It has to come from you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nothing works, does it?
No.
You know? And that's how Yahusha has it.
Mm.
You know, if people are going to mess around with you too, you should know that
Oh.
they're going to cop it.
Oh well. We've got 5 examples there then.
Well, should we get
They're all
get
copying
more
it,
used to it now? But how do you feel knowing this in your life? What happened to Adam and Eve? You're seeing
I
in your
know it
life.
for myself.
Yeah, well, you've been through that, but I'm talking about them.
Yeah, you can trust in it.
I'm actually excited to see it happen.
Yeah.
I am actually excited to see it happen.
Me
Pino,
too.
Joe,
Me too.
Yeah.
they need that.
What if you're forced,
Wake up
if she
call.
won't do it, and you're forced to send her down?
Then so be it.
She will.
Hallelujah!
Just a few phone calls. to
So be
organise
it. Daughter's coming to live with you.
Yeah.
No, you ask him nicely.
Mm.
Say I'm at the end of my
Oh, he won't
tether.
say no.
Good.
I know that.
Oh, he wanted them.
He wanted it all along.
And then he'll probably ask for Robert. No, he's not doing anything wrong yet.
Yeah.
This is really, this transcends, like you were saying about human behaviour and outside of Torah and how they behave out there.
Mm-hmm.
how mothers and fathers should feel about their children and this and that, and your heartstrings being pulled all the time, and have I done this right? Is this your fault? Is this my fault? There's all this tug of war every day. You just put your head on the pillow, exhausted from it all, and they'll happily have you in that place.
Yeah.
And you just realise, hang on, half of them are gone already, which wasn't our doing. You should did that. I'm just getting to a place now where I'm not rallying, not playing the Partridge Family anymore.
Yeah.
Yahusha's not into this, he's into this.
That's it.
You don't cough up, you don't behave, you can have some time over there.
That's it.
Divide and separate.
But what does he want first before he gives you that?
Well, they have to know it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He wants us
yes.
right
Stand together.
Yeah,
first.
yes,
That's what he wants.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew where you were going.
Yeah, well, you're talking about seeing the way, you don't know where you're going.
Mm.
Here, you can see it.
Mm.
What will be, sort of thing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
but
like
you've got every right to teach it and say, this isn't what the world believes.
Mm.
Those that believe, this is for them.
Mm. Yeah.
So we're living a whole different lifestyle apart from the world.
Mm.
And that's what all the believers have to come into.
Mm.
You've got to break out of the worldly traditions
Yeah.
and mindsets
Yeah.
Mm.
and come into this and see what is legal and what's not. Don't you always want to know what's the right thing?
Yeah.
Here it is. Walk in the Spirit on
Yeah.
His Word.
Mm.
Check your thoughts.
Yeah.
And they won't teach the poor people. They hold them. It's the same as the African slave trade.
Yes.
You know, it's the same thing what religion is doing to people.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's horrific, but we just step out. We don't have to do it. We're set apart. Come out of the unclean thing.
Mm.
Don't touch the unclean. Don't get involved. Come out.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, it's been great having you.
Yeah.
We really hope and pray that this helps you all.
Mm.
And it's up to you to enter into it and not believe religion, but believe in your personal relationship with Yahusha through his wonderful, amazing word. We love you and thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
Take me